Alright guys, Dynamite Delight, here it is, but let's make this clear. I'm going to try and blow through all of this as quickly as possible. If you want to know my thoughts on it, I will do maybe a follow-up video if you ask me, but I'm just going to be as basic as possible because there's only one thing I want to talk about, which is what the title is shown. Fenix is done. Fenix is done. They won, but Fenix is done. Let's go through the show. Opening, the best match of the night. Daniel Bryan versus a Hangman Page. It was a 36-minute match. There was blood. There was a lot of suspense. It was done well. I couldn't tell who was going to win. And that was the best thing about it. Great. That's the way it's supposed to be. In the end, after at least, a dozen headbutts across both of these guys, at least over 10 to 12 headbutts between each one did at least 8 to 10 headbutts to each other. They wanted to make it special. They were bleeding. Here are two images of Hangman Page bleeding and Daniel Bryan. That was a damn good match. In the end, and if no one says this, I will say it. Bryan Danielson put over Hangman Page. That's what this was about. He wanted to show that he can put someone over of his caliber, which he did. Now, I don't know where they're going to go with him, but hopefully it's going to be something interesting, and I do hope he's okay because he does have a problem with concussion and neck problems, so hopefully that didn't do any damage. Moving on. We got the MJF match with the Jobber, which was, Captain Daryl? I can't remember his name. It didn't happen. Pretty much CM Punk ran down, chased him around, and then GTX did his opponent, MJF, and since it was outside interference on the Jobber, that means MJF did not win, the Jobber won, because he was nailed. Their talk was very good. I can't elaborate too much on it because I don't want to elaborate too much on it, but I will say this, mentioning how important CM Punk is, or not being important, that he never headlined WrestleMania, that he's a nobody, that he needs MJF is well done. I'm moving on. They will have their match, not yet, but it will be Wardlow next week. Let's move on to Wardlow. Wardlow has a match with another jobber, I can't remember his name, but pretty much Sean Spears does, I'm really anxious here. And excited, but really anxious. Sorry. Wardlow gets in the ring with the Jobber. Jobber does not want to deal with him directly because he knows he's going to get powerbombed. But guess what? Sean Spears nails the Jobber. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. He throws him back in the ring and tells Wardlow just to pin him. That's the end of it. But Wardlow doesn't do that. Wardlow, who is kind of a very big chip on his shoulder, but still is doing what the Pinnacle wants and MJF wants, he nails this guy not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, 5 power bombs, then puts his foot on him and ends him. And Sean Spears is not liking it. I don't know if Wardlow is going to turn face. I don't know where they're going to go with this. It's going to depend on what happens after the match between MJF and CM Punk. That's what this is going to come down to. I doubt that Wardlow is going to job the CM Punk when the next match happens, his match next with CM Punk, and then he's going to turn face. I just don't see it. I don't think it's time. I'm just saying. Now, we got a couple of vid packs. Well, not vid packs. We got, how can I explain this? Selena Deep's, I really don't like the story between Selena Deep's and Hiro Kushida. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't really feel like anything. The person who's trying to put it over is Selena Deep's, saying simply, I deserve more. Your win over me is a fluke, and I won't stop until I get my win back and destroy you. Pretty much that's what it feels, and it feels empty because it doesn't even involve Shida. They're using Selena Deep's to do this, where it should be about Shida getting her ass whooped and giving her feelings. I just don't agree with it. Then you got Bobby, you got Adam, and you got Kyle talking. And now you're going to have, what is the guy's name? Atlas. He was supposedly in NXT. And now he's now been signed to AEW, and the person's going to start doing not a few, but it's going to have a match with him, I believe, this coming week or this Friday on Rampage. I have to remember because the Battle of the Belts is Saturday and Rampage is Friday. I got to remember that. He's going to have a match. I don't know if it's this Friday or Wednesday. We will find out. Now, the match where I had no idea who was going to win. That is Ruby Soho versus Jade Cargill. And I have the video made. I'm going to release it tomorrow or Friday. I think I might release it when? Maybe Friday? Of the big swole situation with Tony Khan. Either Friday or Thursday. I don't know when. Well, guess what? Her talking makes her look beyond fucking stupid because we had either one of two scenarios. Either Jade Cargill was going to win or Ruby Soho was going to win. Jade Cargill has been built up so well, even though she's still very green. It was an idea that there was a good chance they were going to give it to her because they built her so well as that damn bitch with Smart Mark. It's just obvious it was that damn well built. And if there was no Ruby Soho, I still believe she would have been in the main picture of this match. I don't doubt it. I'm sure that she was going to be there maybe with a Thunder Rosa. That's what I thought. But she got Ruby Soho, who showed how she can put people over. Ruby made that match mean something because she made Jade look good in front of her husband and her daughter. And I believe I got a shot. It's in my face. There you go. When it comes down to it, it was a good match for Jade. That's one of the better matches I've seen from her, even though it was still botchy. Let's make this clear. There was botchiness in that match. There was. There's no way you can deny that Jade was damn botchy. She was. Well, that's understandable. She's been in the business for only a year. She's not perfect at it. She's not a Kurt Angle. I believe she's a former WNBA player, a former basketball player. So I'm not expecting her. I think she was a former basketball player. I forgot. She isn't like she's Bianca Belair who did track and field. But let's be honest. She's been in the business a year. Maybe she's had a little bit more training before that, but she's been in the business only a year. So I don't expect her not to be botchy. But they gave it to her. Big Swole, you stupid bitch. And I'm not saying that to be insulting like she's disgusting, but after her talk, watch what's going to be talked about on my video because I kind of elaborate exactly what I'm saying now. Exactly what I'm saying now. You will see in my Gump report, I will elaborate on it. So she won. Her husband is happy, her daughter feels proud, and vice versa. Fine. It's good to see it. It had to happen. Now, a very, very quick match between I'm about to say Aleister Black, to Malachi Black. Sorry, I said Aleister. Malachi Black. I'm anxious, guys. I'm anxious. That's why I'm messing up here. I'm trying to stay calm because of what happened at the end of the show. I'm trying to do this quick because I want to get it out as fast as possible. Not that I'm going to be able to beat JD or just Alex. I'm sure they're already on right now, one of them. But I'm kind of hoping I can do this quick. But we got Alice. You see, I'm really anxious. Malachi Black versus Brian Pillman Jr. When you have you got a heart down there, but no Garrison. He ain't there. So you wonder how far and what she's going to do. He didn't really do much. He had an eye patch over her eye where supposedly got sprayed and she's still blind. Also, a little bit of Lucha Libre was shown by near the end of the match. Actually, after the match was over because he did get a lights out from a Malachi Black. Brian Pillman didn't last that long. You got the Lucha Brothers coming out, wanting to get revenge for what happened to Pac because he is out. He's done. He's still out right now. He's blind in both eyes, supposedly. So he's out. Fine. That's good building, showing that when Pac comes back, he will be dealing with Malachi Black. Direction. Whew. Guys, I'm done with that. This is what we got. I know there's a lot more going on, especially with Ruby Soho meeting Britt Baker in an interview. I know there's more that I could elaborate when it comes to MJF talking about what he was saying with CM Punk, which kind of I'm blanking because I can't remember because of what has happened in the final match of the night. That is the AEW Tag Titles the Lucha Brothers versus the Jurassic Express. Now, mind you, was it a bad match? No. But it was sloppy at first because I don't think they have really good chemistry at first. Somehow, you could see from the very beginning to near the middle, they were botching. Ray Fenix botched a little bit along with a Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And even Luchasaurus botched a little bit. It was botchy a little bit, but it got much better by the middle near the end, at least until what happened. Now, the person who got the pin was Luchasaurus. No, was it Luchasaurus or was it Jungle Boy? I can't remember. I think it was Jungle Boy. Yeah, Jungle Boy managed to pin a Penta Ciamero. Penta. He pinned him. And everyone was happy. Jungle Boy's mom and sister were happy. Everyone was cheering. The roster for the tag division came out. You saw the Hardy brand of Private Party. You saw the Acclaim. You saw everybody else come out. And you also saw a little bit of Aleister Black. You saw a little bit of I know I'm not talking about what happened with Chris Jericho. I'm leaving it. But you know it was a good segment that happened with him in 2.0 and when the Pride and Power came out with Eddie. I know. But this is about what happened to Ray Fenix. Finally, we're there at 12 minutes. At least on my timer here for the camera. It's been 12 minutes. I got to get to it. We reached a point where the manager of Penta and Ray Fenix decides at one point they need to do something more spectacular, something more dramatic, something kind of makes you think about what happened to Psycho Sid being told, hey, you need to jump off one of the turnbuckles to increase your repertoire. I'm not saying that's funny. I'm just saying that's what happened. So what happened, the manager, I always forget the guy's name, he pulled the table out, he uncovered it, and they wanted to put either a Luchasaurus or Jungle Boy through it. The person that they targeted, and that's Penta and the Ray Fenix, is Luchasaurus. But Luchasaurus did not go through it. He manages to stop himself. And then Ray decides, I'm going to nail his bastard and put him through the damn table. But he could not do it. Luchasaurus did. But here's where it gets nasty. This is the shot that is from AEW itself. Both of them actually. But before I actually started doing this, I went into GIMP. That's a software for editing images and pictures. I managed to blow it up. But here is the first shot. You can see Ray Fenix going through the table, but you cannot see clearly what's going on with his left arm. Here is the picture improved and zoomed in, if I can make it, on his left arm. It seemed that when Luchasaurus took him and he chokeslammed him into the table, Ray's left arm was angled back. Here, this is where it was until it went near the ground. And his arm bent like this and snapped, crackled, and popped, baby. His arm snapped back. And I'm looking at, what the fuck did I just witness? And then he's calling over anyone saying this. His arm is broke clean in half from probably here or at the joint itself. I couldn't tell where. It's either broken here, or worse yet, broken in the middle. I couldn't tell where. But his arm was bent back in an awkward way, so when he went through the table, his arm snapped back and broke. So he is done for who knows how long. He's out. So, and here's where it gets bad for AEW. Because no one caught it. No one in the back caught this. Because if they did, they would not keep repeating more than once the table choke slam, because they didn't do it just once. They did it twice. And then they did one, I believe they did it 3 times. One more time to wrap up the win for the Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. No one realized how bad it was. No one in the back realized it. They didn't catch it. The people in commentary couldn't see that his arm bent back and broke. Snapped up. He got his ass snapped. It is that bad. He is out easily between 4 to 6 months or more. Counting on where the break was, guys. Understand, either he got his break somewhere here, right before the elbow and the arm, the bend in the arm. It's either here, or from what I saw, if he's lucky, it's here. But the way it looked right here at his arm bending part of his elbow. I think they broke his arm right at the elbow. I think it is broken. That could take 6 months to a year to recover, I think. I don't know. It depends, because unlike a regular bone, and for me, I need to know this because I have to have hip surgery eventually. The parts that bend take the longest to heal. If it's just a straight break here, it could be 4 to 6 months. But you're talking about a joint that could be snapped completely. And I don't know this. It could be either here, somewhere here, or maybe somewhere here. I'm hoping it's not at his arm and where it bends the elbow, because if it is, he could be gone for nearly 6 months to a year. It depends. But it's hard to tell. Let's just hope that he's all right. And this is the end of this review. 1, I want to get this sucker up quick. 2, the battery's about to die. So have a good day, have a good night, and look for I think maybe the Gut Report will be released Friday or Thursday. Don't know yet. Peace.